Hello, my fellow poor beasts. I'm running out of names here, people. How are you today? I am fantastic. So, as you can see, my Lily Vefe mat is a mess. It's time to clean her up, but that's not happening right now. We're just going to give her one more punch before we do that. Love this mat. You know, I can make a big mess on it, let it dry, and then peel it right up in big chunks. See? Big chunks. So anyway, you can get some really cool skins too. If you're interested, I do have a code below for a discount on the Mega and Jumbo mats. Anyway, what I'm doing today is going to be a bright bloom. The brightest blooms of blooms. So I have a really, really pretty hot magenta from Blick, or fluorescent magenta, I should call it. It is so pretty. And I thought, wouldn't that be a beautiful background for a nice, pretty bloom? So, this is mixed with water. That's it. Nothing else. No Floetrol, no nothing. Just water. I just thinned it out. You really can't see the consistency on this because it's so bright. And I'm going to dump it right onto the canvas. I just saw a chunk in there, so I'll have to address that in a few minutes. I did notice when I bought this paint that the bottle looked a little separated on top. So, you know, when you go to buy your paints at the stores, if you can see inside the bottle, if you see like it's looking a little wretched on the top, you might want to try to find a bottle that looks a little smoother looking, like it's actually mixed and hasn't separated. So what I'm going to do today for my bright bloom is use a couple colors from the Bright Blooms kit from Primary Element that I got. So this month's kit from them, which I have a link and a coupon code for 20% off the entire store down below, has 12 of the most popular colors, which are really bright and fun and cheery and cool, and an 8-ounce bottle of the enamel, so that if you wanted to try blooms, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. You can use them for your other projects, but it's designed specifically with that in mind, doing the blooms. They do sell a product called Polypore that you can mix all the colors together with and do your pours. You can use this enamel to brush paint, glaze. If you go to Colourarte.com, I have the link below, you can see the full descriptions of these products and what you can do with them. So I'm just tilting around here. I should have got my OXO omelet spatula out, but I didn't clean it from the last one. So I'm just kind of letting it go over the edge and then going in the opposite direction. This way you coat everything nicely, nice and evenly. And you can always work on your edges afterwards too. So I promised this was going to be a shorter video. So we get right to it here. I just don't want to take my gloves off before I smack this canvas a little bit. So I'm obviously going to have to add a little tiny bit more to that center there. Center, the corner. So I am going to be doing another auction soon. January 26th, I believe it's a Sunday night. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There is going to be something for everybody there. My prices are way more than reasonable. Even in my Etsy shop, they are. I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but I do use resin to coat all of my paintings, which only magnifies the image. It makes it look so much more pronounced. So for a painting that has 2 to 3 layers of resin on it, because it's never one, trust me, nobody's that good. And if they say they are, their corners look like crap. Anyway, for a painting with that many layers of resin, to go for under $100, it is very, very reasonable. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna have some fun. I had one other auction in the past, and it was so much fun hanging out with everybody, and everybody found something that they wanted. I have some pieces that you've never seen that you may like, so we're gonna go for it. I will do a preview video though, for sure, with the date and the time. Just be prepared. Know that it's coming. Know that I'm coming for you. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. You ready? I am going to do one big old bloom right in the center of this. And I am going to use white first. A whole bunch of it. Now, these colors are mixed with 3 parts of this to 1 part polyacrylic. That's what they are all mixed with. Then I am going to put down ultramarine blue. When using primary elements, you want to make sure you use a couple of regular paints with them too, so that your primary elements should be considered like a luster, like a metallic type of paint. In my opinion, they're all shiny, so you want to have some flat matte colors to balance that. You don't want to do a painting with all metallics. All right, so we have that one. See, it's very hard to do this and concentrate talking at the same time. So this one here is called Tanzanite, and it is gorgeous. Now I can't remember if this is in this month's kit or not, but it is one of the colors on the site. The other 2 I know for sure are in the kit. I just can't remember which 12 were in that kit. I do apologize. So that's Tanzanite. And now I'm going to use, what will she use? This is going to be anthraquinone blue. I've been practicing my names. So that's what that is. Then I am going to use a color by Primary Elements, which is in the kit, called Key Lime. Look how fun that color is. Come on. Now, you may be shaking your head about this color combo, but let's see how it goes first. Like, this right here is not crazy, but what I'm about to start doing is going to get crazy. Just so you know. So that's Tanzanite. Or no, Key Lime, sorry. Then I'm going to use some more of the ultramarine blue. This one is called Ginger Flower and is also in the kit. Nice, shiny, bright pink. dark pink. Okay. And so now this is where I lose my mind. Fluorescent red. This may be something. It may be totally garbage, but it may be something, right? All right, so now I have my cell activator, which is, here's what I've been doing to make it easy for you guys. I put a blob of paint, let's say a teaspoon of paint, into this cup. I slowly start adding Floetrol a little bit at a time until I get to that consistency. So it runs off the stick and it leaves a little mound. For me, okay, when the bloom first came out, it was, oh, you want your cell activator to sit on top, not to sink. Mine never sat on top. It always sunk a little bit, and I was perfectly fine with that. I feel when this sinks under these colors and you go to blow, it helps create the cells more because now it's under the colors and it's trying to pop up through them. So I'm fine with that consistency, and I will compare it to whipped cream. When you start whipping it and it just starts to thicken a little bit, that's the consistency of that white. So now I don't know which one was which. Okay, I hope it was this one. The other one had the enamel in it. Yeah, I think it's this one. Pray for me. If we get no cells, we know this wasn't the right white. So there we go. I'm going to torch to pop the air bubbles quick. And then I'm going to put my face down there and try to start blowing. I don't know. That did not sound good. I don't know how I'm going to do this without getting paint all over me, but I have a painting shirt on today just in case. Let's see where you guys are. Let me zoom in a little bit so that you can really see what I'm doing. Hopefully that'll help. I hope. Okay. I'm going into the shower after this, so you see my hair go in. It's all good. So you want to aim your breath down and lightly blow. Lightly blow. To see where your breath is going on the pattern. Because you can be blowing it and your air can be going here. So you want to lightly blow it first. And then when you figure out where you are and you know it's a good spot, you want to blow upwards. Okay? Just like that. A little bit harder than what I did, but just like that. Now that you have that pattern, what you can do is you can take a little straw or your airbrush or whatever you want to use. I have a metal straw. And get in these little areas here. Okay. After you get done blowing your design, you want to wait a few minutes for all the paint to rise back up to the surface. I don't know if you guys saw how I did that. I started off slow and then did a nice strong burst. Here, let me see if I can show you again. Go right here. So start off slow and then with your breath and slowly get harder and harder with your breath, with your blow. Kind of like directing it. And then another thing you can do is that center big white area. You can blow straight down into that to try to get the paint to activate. Now remember, there were no cells in this big area. Okay, so I'm going to leave it alone for a minute. I'm going to pause you guys and I'm going to wait for my paint to come back up to the surface. I will time it for you. Okay, I could say it's been about a minute, minute and a half. Sometimes it comes up quicker when you do different surfaces. Sometimes it takes longer. So now I'm going to try to tilt here. Sometimes I'll get something I like and most times I won't. So what I'll end up doing is I'll tilt it and then I'll add a couple of blooms after the fact until I get something I like. So I think with this one, I'm going to try to leave some negative space. I am noticing a couple of fractals in the center, and I believe, actually I know it's from the magenta, the fluorescent magenta being mixed with water. I know that for a fact. Whenever you mix something with a lot of water, like I did that magenta, it does, especially when you're using like enamels and stuff like that, it tends to mess with the structure, the chemical structure. You know what? It's okay. Now we're going to come back down this way and we're going to be done. But I like that. It's pretty. Very, very pretty. There we go. That fluorescent red, which really looks like fluorescent orange, is really lighting up this piece. I like that. Anyway, there you go. All done. all done. I will give you a close-up. This actually looks like a landscape looking at it from my view. I'm just going to add a little bit of color here. It's quite bare. And you know what? I'll finish this off after I shut the camera off. You guys don't need to see this. Just if you have any areas on the sides that are bare, you could just add a little more paint. Cover them up. Let me give you a close-up. So there's a lot of mini cells in there. Now I could stretch and keep stretching them out, but I just kind of like it the way it is. And I like the way the white is almost like it's ghost-like around the whole outline. Anyway, it's different. Let me give you another view here. Shut this light off and come from my side. It's pretty cool. It's different. I say that. Absolutely different. Well, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to click like, leave a comment, tell your friends if they're interested in learning this about my channel. Sharing helps a lot to get the word out there. And yeah, I have a Facebook group if you're interested in joining it, and it is called United We Pour with Tammy and Lisa. You can go down in the link and click on it. It'll take you right over to that. It's a really fun place. And we're starting to get some movement now. I'm at, I think, 1,500 plus. Really awesome people. Really helpful people. So if you have questions about pouring, you know, I'm in there as much as humanly possible. And there's a lot of helpful members. And I just hope to see some familiar names there so I can see your art. I will talk to you guys soon. Don't forget, mark your calendars. January 26th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I love you all and happy pouring.